The lion's mouth. Putting your head in the lion's mouth. What does that have to do with stretching your comfort zone and being scared? Today is day 303 of the Daily Scare Share, where we do one thing a day that stretches our comfort zone and helps us to move toward the life that we want. Because the life that we want is always just outside our comfort zone. We need to tip our toes out of there so that we can experience what it is that we want to experience. So I've been doing one thing a day from the book, One Thing a Day That Scares You, to stretch my comfort zone, to get me out of the rut I've been living in this year, and maybe for more than just this year. But today is a sayings day, and it says you must put your head into the lion's mouth if the performance is to be a success. And this was said by Sir Winston Churchill. And our challenge today is the lion's mouth in my life today is, and then a bunch of blank lines. Well, what's the lion's mouth in your life today? What do you need to lean into? What do you need to step into to move your life ahead, to move you in the direction that you want to go? A lot of times it's just we need to take one step towards something. We won't know all the answers. We won't know what we're supposed to do to get the end goal that we want, but we do know that we can take the next step. One thing I find really, really powerful and really, really helpful to me when I'm doing something bigger, when I have a big goal, I know what the big goal is. I have no idea how I'm going to get there or how I'm going to make it happen. I mean, I have no idea, but I always can figure out what is the next step. All I have to do is ask myself the question, what is the next thing I need to do to move me toward that big goal or that big dream? So today I was thinking about putting my head in the lion's mouth, and we've all, or not all of us, we've either all seen a circus and a lion's show on television or in some form of media on the internet, or some of us have been to live circuses. I remember taking my kids to the circus when they were really little, because the circus would come to town in the big tents in my little town. They would come to town and we would take the kids to the circus, and they would get to ride the elephants and watch the lions and watch the ringmaster, and they'd have the 3 rings and the people on the trapeze and all the excitement that came along with that event. And one of the most scary things was always the lion and the lion tamers, because lions are unpredictable. Even trained lions maul their trainers every once in a while. I think not too long ago there was a story in the news where that happened yet again. And so I think that's what makes those shows so breathtaking. But, you know, the guy stuck his head in the lion's mouth, and we're all cringing and shaking because you never know. The lion could just say, "Coom," and crunch and smash and eat somebody's head, which is really a gross thing to even visualize. But it's true. To make the performance as thrilling and exciting as it is, everybody was waiting and cheering and wanting to see that man put his head in the lion's mouth, right? The tamer put his head in the lion's mouth. So there's things like that that we know we need to do in our own performance to move us ahead. And I have found recently that my biggest progress comes from leaning into the things I'm most afraid of, leaning into my false beliefs, leaning into, because they're just false beliefs, they're just things I make up in my mind, right? Leaning into the things that I think are hard or challenging. And if I just put my foot forward a teeny bit and lean into it a little bit, pretty soon it's easier to lean in further and further and further. And before I know it, the thing I was afraid of, the thing I was having a hard time procrastinating about or getting myself to do, all of a sudden it's done. And it's only, all I had to do is lean in a little bit toward what it is I was avoiding. I use this for procrastination and all kinds of things. And I just do it by reminding myself that the journey, the experience, how I feel about what's going on, and that is what's really important. That's what creates our life. Our life is made up of all the experiences that we have, and it's those exciting, challenging, kind of scary moments that actually prove to be the best, most exhilarating, most amazing experiences that we will ever have. So what can you do today? What's the lion's mouth in your world today? And what can you do to lean into that? And just lean in a little bit, and then watch how easy it is to lean in all the way, and all of a sudden the amazing results and the things that you've been waiting for just come flooding to you, and you wonder, what the heck was I afraid of in the first place? So that's it. Go up, make it a fantastic day. I will be with you tomorrow for day 304 of the Daily Scare Share. I wonder what it's going to be. I could peek, but that would ruin the fun. I like to wait and look the next day right before I have to do it. All right, bye. Don't be scared. You got this.